Hi, this is Shannon Kringen in Seattle, otherwise known as Goddess Kring, and I'm having a good hair day. I just washed my hair last night. What I do is I have naturally curly hair, and I'm blessed with really thick, luscious, curly hair. And hope that doesn't sound arrogant. That's better than putting myself down, actually. But I washed my hair and slept on it wet. And then when I wake up the next day, it's extra fluffy and extra frizzy. And I'm growing it out natural, and it's starting to get silver streaks right here, which I kind of like. And I'm just going to let it grow. I'm just going to let it grow out. And so I'm extremely grateful. This mic seems a little loud for me there. I'm extremely grateful that during this holiday season for Christmas and New Year's, I'm booked taking care of dogs and cats in various different ways for people. And I recently modeled for different groups and for online and in person. And I'm grateful for the flexibility of my random ways that I earn a living, which are, I have 2 subscription-only websites for members only. And oh, there's my kitty in the background. He's so cute. Kitty, kitty. Yes. Okay, he's sweet. I have 2 subscription members only websites that helps me earn a little bit of money and allows me to create creative content and have the freedom of expression. And then I have this random job I do that involves technology and my smart device and doing random things around Seattle, helping people out doing that. And that's a random flexible job, although that's very, very stressful at times. And I'm still learning how to do that well. And I like jobs where I'm just kind of on my own by myself. And then I model, I take care of animals. And so wait, okay, I have 2 subscription only websites, members only, that I create content for. And I model for artists and art classes and groups. I take care of animals, cats and dogs and people's pets, and I house sat too for them. And I art model. So those are my 5 ways of making a living. I also sometimes sell hand painted hats and shoes. In my last video, I was wearing a hand painted hat. I'm working on some beautiful beige suede boots for myself for winter right now, and I'm painting them with swirly metallic green, beautiful shapes. And I think for the first time ever, I'm going to minimalistically paint them, keep most of them beige because I like that sort of suede beige color, and put swirly shapes of metallic green in the shapes that I draw. I draw on suede boots with a Sharpie permanent ink marker, and then I take fabric paint and I paint the shapes that I love. I'm inspired by the shapes I see in trees and leaves and bark, kind of curvy, like organic shapes, or like if you fly in an airplane and you look straight down at the land. A lot of my abstract art looks kind of like that, like you're looking down at a map, which makes me think of Aboriginal Australian art, which I also love. I'm also influenced by an artist called Hunderwasser. So that's a little bit of the art thing, but I'm just really grateful that I have been very, right now I'm in a good mood, but I have been very stressed out. And today I went somewhere and they had all this, somebody donated sparkling water, and I love unsweetened fruit flavored sparkling water. So I got a whole bunch of that for free that somebody donated, and there was enough for a whole bunch of us to get that for free. That was amazing. I'm so grateful. Little things like that just dazzle me. And there's my kitty looking cute on the couch behind me. Today I walked some dogs, and whenever I notice, especially if I'm stressed out, like stuck in a traffic jam or something like that, I always notice when people are walking their dogs or when there's a cute dog in someone's car, if I have a safe way of looking at the dog while I'm driving or while I'm stopped, usually, I notice how cute dogs are. And it really cheers me up to see, and cats as well. Whenever I go for walks, I'm always looking for friendly cats or looking in people's windows, just glancing over. If I see a dog or a cat in the window, I look at the dog or cat and smile. So animals really cheer me up, plants and animals, because I've been very angry and very stressed out. And I don't want to whine about why, and I don't want to argue with anybody about what's true and what's false and all the different things happening in the world that are concerning. I don't want to argue or debate that on this YouTube channel. I'm just here to say that I've been very angry and scared and stressed, and at the same time, very grateful. And my friend said, "You're very resilient," because for over 20 years, I've had all these different random freelance ways of making a living. And now it's more clear to me than ever that the way our world is going, I don't know very many people that just have one normal full-time job. A lot of people I know have eccentric, eclectic ways of making a living that are unusual. I guess a lot of my friends are kind of more freelance-y kind of people, including people in my family. My mother and my father have alternative ways of survival as well. So, I mean, my dad used to have a normal job and then he retired. And now he actually is in his 70s. He lives in Florida and he's a personal fitness trainer. And he has like 33 clients right now, he says, that he helps train or helps them meet their fitness goals. And it's cool because my dad is a super, super, super athletic. I think he's 77. He's really fit, like as fit as Mick Jagger. And he's about the same age as Mick Jagger, literally. So 70 something. So I know people that have inspirational things that they do when they're in their 60s and 70s. And it's pretty cool. My dad being one of those people. And my mom does artwork, although she's very private, so I won't say anything else about her, but she doesn't like it if I talk about her. But both my parents are fairly private, actually, and they don't like to be on camera. So that's why I never share anything about my parents. And I'm an only child. So I'm just saying hello, everybody. It is December 13th, 2021, as I'm recording this. And I am grateful to be alive. And I'm trying to focus on, like yesterday, I freaked out a few times because I was doing something really stressful. And I had a technology snafu problem, and I had to uninstall and reinstall something and then call an 800 number to get help fixing a problem. And I kind of lost my temper a little bit, but then I apologized to the person and said, sorry, I'm having anger and anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And then they were really nice and they're like, don't worry about it, no problem. And it was like very nice of them. So thank you for forgiving me. Anybody who has forgiven me when I've lost my temper and lost my cool and gotten grumpy and let anxiety kind of take over. I've been listening to a combination of truth-seeking journalism as well as a spiritual meditation, affirming what you want, using your imagination to create in your own mind or body inside your own self, because your own private thoughts are your own secret private thoughts, and it's none of anybody else's business what you're thinking. So I'm seeing a pattern of people invading each other's privacy and being very judgy. So it makes me value my privacy even more than ever before. I used to spill my guts on camera a lot, and part of me still likes to kind of confess and say honest things, but at the same time, I'm feeling more protective of my privacy, and I have my own private thoughts. And when I'm sitting in my bedroom, resting and sleeping, I listen to certain meditation videos and that are about using your own creative mind. Because when you lie in bed and you're by yourself, you don't need to, like, I notice that I worry about things and I think about things, and we constantly think about things. And what you focus on tends to expand. And, you know, it's not good to deny physical reality, but it's also not good to affirm something you don't want. So if you constantly notice what bothers you about the world around you, and you're constantly irritated about whatever thing is going on that you don't like or don't agree with and you don't want, you help create more of that. And you kind of feed into the energy of that. And then if you focus, some would say it's spiritual bypass to focus on being really positive, even when horrible things are happening. So I don't believe in denying painful things that are happening in the world that are tragic, sad, painful, awful, wrong, unethical, tragic, you know, negative, dark, painful, etc. All of those dark things. I don't want to deny any of that, but I don't want to affirm and focus on that. So some people get mad when you say things like that. So what I'm noticing is I'm really liking my private time alone when I'm resting. I mean, I spend most of my time by myself. Like I've kind of been mostly a loner my entire life. I'm an only child and I never had kids. I have a guy that I'm dating that I see a few times a week, but I spend a lot of time, I live by myself with my cat, and that's why I like it. So, and I've always enjoyed working in ways where I'm kind of by myself. As you could say, I'm not really a team player in a super social kind of way. I'm more of a give me a task and I'll go off by myself and do it. That's partly why I like modeling, because when I model for artists, I'm in a group and yet I'm by myself. Like I feel like I'm in my own little quiet art model bubble. And then people are drawing me and painting me. So I'm with the group, but I'm just in my own little space. And I like it that way. So I really like when I'm in bed at night by myself, and then I catch myself worrying, and I'm guilty of it still. Like sometimes when I sleep at night, I toss and turn and I'm thinking about all the things I'm worried about. And I'm, gee, I hope this doesn't happen. Gee, I hope that doesn't happen. Gee, I hope I can prevent this or control this or do that or say yes or no to this and that. And then I realize I don't have to be thinking about these things. Like I can choose to think and feel different thoughts and different feelings. And some people say it's your thoughts that create your feelings, and other people say it's your feelings that create your thoughts. I think your feelings probably are helping to generate your thoughts. If you feel happy and you feel love and peace and joy or harmony or contentedness, that tends to help you cultivate different kinds of thoughts. I think both can work. I think if you feel sad, you can listen to what you're telling yourself, because I always have a little voice in my head that's telling me something, like a little monologue in my head, like my little me, Shannon, my life is like a movie and I'm narrating it. And so if you're conscious of that, then you can take, I don't know if everybody has that. Does everybody have a little voice in their head that narrates to them? Because that's what I have, like as if I'm in my own movie and I'm narrating to myself. And if I witness myself focusing on what's upsetting me, it just makes it worse. And if I'm mean to myself, if I make a mistake and then I beat myself up for that, or if I see somebody else doing something I don't like, and instead of being forgiving towards them, I'm really grumpy. Like one example that I'm really good at is when I'm driving my car for my own safety and the safety of others. When I'm on the freeway, I always let people in. Like if someone's trying to change lanes, I find it so stressful when nobody lets me change lanes. And so I make it a practice to be really nice to people on the freeway. And I mean, in terms of polite, like I always let people in if they're trying to change lanes. And I stay the heck away from people who seem like they're driving really dangerously and overly fast and zipping through and changing lanes, you know, like they're as if they're playing checkers and just sliding sideways across the freeway. Now that scares me when people do that, but I stay away from those people. And if someone's tailgating me, I get out of the lane away from that person. And I don't tailgate on the freeway. So I make it a practice of part of, you could say part of my spiritual practice, but part of my basic common sense as a human staying, you know, safe when I drive on the freeway is to be courteous and always use my turn signal when I'm changing lanes, obviously. Some people don't even do that. And I always let people in because sometimes I have to do this like freeway exit. That's really hard to do unless I very quickly change 2 lanes. And it's like, and sometimes people don't want to let me in. It's really frustrating. So I always let people in when they're trying to merge in front of me or behind me. I always am mindful of that. And that's like a practice of, I give myself a pat on the back for doing that, because that's a way in which I'm good at being generous and patient and kind. Other ways in which I lose my temper and I don't have patience and I lose my cool. And so I'm trying to be more mindful of that. And so your feelings affect your thoughts, but your thoughts also affect your feelings. So I just wanted to make a short video. I'm not going to ramble on too long. So thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I think I've been here since 2006, and I'm an artist and a model and a pet caretaker and a random freelance job person, Jane of all trades, you could say. And so yeah, thanks for listening and subscribing. And I have a Flickr with over 7,000 photos I've taken that's free to publish under Creative Commons. And I have a Patreon, and I've got music online, and that's free to listen to on, I think it's Bandcamp, Goddess KRING Bandcamp, and have all kinds of visual art and photographs. And I work as a model. And so there's photos of me that I've taken, and there's photos other photographers have taken, and there's paintings and drawings people have done of me and my likeness. And I've worked with all kinds of really talented artists. And I also love it when kids draw me. I love child art because they usually make the head really big, and things are a little bit out of proportion generally when a kid first starts learning how to draw. But I love kid art because it's so pure and direct and honest, and they emphasize whatever they like make the eyes really big or the head really big, or something, the hair really big. If somebody drew my hair right now, they'd probably be draw it, exaggerate the hair. So I'm inspired by art and music, and I share a lot of art online. So look me up. ShannonKringen.com is my main website. I might eventually let that go, but I've had it for over 20 years. I think I've had it since the year 2000. So 21 years, almost 22. And I'm so grateful that I have naturally curly hair that looks kind of wild and crazy today. I kind of like it all wild and crazy like this, like I'm a lion or something. Okay. I'm going to do some artwork and go for a walk and then have dinner with a friend. And I'm so grateful. Life is a gift. And I'm going to try to acknowledge the dark stuff that I don't like. Don't want to deny it, but I want to emphasize and think of it as fertilizer or compost that can rot and then grow into good stuff. So I want to focus on what I want to expand, which is health, love, peace, joy, beauty, cooperation, harmony, ethics, common sense and ethics, and actual wisdom. And I really admire nature and the biodiversity in the ecosystem and the soil and the microbes in the soil and the earthworms and all that jazz. And there's a new band that I just heard of that it's called Cutworms. I love the music of Edie Brickell and Tom Petty and Tori Amos and Beck and Neil Young and Bjork. I love all different kinds of music. I watched a documentary about Mozart the other night with my friend, and it was fascinating to hear classical musicians talk about Mozart and how he innovated some new surprising techniques in composing songs. And I think he was instinctively, intuitively doing it. It's not like he had it all planned out, but he surprised people with his music apparently. And it was interesting to hear classical musicians talk about hearing certain passages of Mozart and what it meant to them and how it was bringing up certain emotions. And it was like, because when I listen to music, I see shapes and I feel different emotions that relate to the patterns in music. So that fascinated me. So I really enjoyed the Mozart documentary recently. And I really enjoyed Cutworms. There's a song they have called Song of the Highest Tower. I think it's called song. Yeah, Cutworms, Song of the Highest Tower. It's a beautiful song. And then I saw Nora Jones had covered it. Nora Jones said, I can't stop listening to this song. I have to cover it. It's beautiful. So look up Cutworms. If you like the Beatles and George Harrison and the Everly Brothers and music like that, it's kind of folky, Everly Brothers, folky, rocky, mixed with some steel guitar, which is a slightly twangy, countryish sound, but it's not really country music. It's more spacious, like the Everly Brothers and Roy Orbison and George Harrison, and folk rock, spacious, melancholy, beautiful music. Fleet Foxes. I also love the band called Fleet Foxes. I love Edie Brickell and Fleet Foxes, and now Cutworms. Just wanted to share that. So I'll make another random video whenever I feel like it. And thank you for subscribing and liking my videos here on YouTube. I still would love to get up to 1,000 or more subscribers, but it seems like it's hovering around 932. People keep coming and going. Like I gain a few and I lose a few. And I some of my videos probably annoy people. I don't know why. Some people just go, but I guess my focus is just sharing about my thoughts and just doing improvisational monologues. That's really what I do, I guess. Maybe that just doesn't strike a chord in some people. So I would love to get 1,000 or more subscribers, but that may or may not happen. So I affirm to the universe it could happen, or maybe not. I'm just going to let that go. I'm not worried about it. But if you want to subscribe and like my videos, or if you know anybody that might benefit from my videos, or if you want to start your own YouTube channel, I encourage you to do that, or your own podcast. Just get a microphone and camera. And you actually, for a podcast, you don't need a camera. You only need a mic. And I use a program called Audacity, which is free when I do my audio stuff and record it. For a few years, I had an hour-long weekly podcast called Goddess KRING Radio. I don't have that anymore. So, but I might start doing it again. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So have a good day or night, everyone. Happy holidays. I'm happy that this is the first time ever that I'm going to spend the entire Christmas and New Year's holiday, unless plans change. I know that people's holiday plans could change at any time for various reasons these days that we all know. So if that happens, I have a backup plan, but I'm kind of looking forward to, and thankfully my family doesn't mind. It's my dad lives in Florida, my mom's on Whidbey Island, and she's going to hang out with her boyfriend for the holidays. So she doesn't mind that I'm doing my own thing here in the city for the holidays, which is taking care of dogs and cats for like the entire Christmas and New Year's holiday. And I'm kind of looking forward to that, actually. I love animals a lot. Okay, have a good day. Bye for now.